What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Shut Up and Work podcast live as I'm here with my wonderful co-host, Lady G. And now, what's the topic we got to discuss today?
Hey, Coach, how are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing wonderful. It's that time again. How are you?
I'm good. Making
All
it through
right.
the week. But so the first topic, I wanted to talk about today was, so like a week or so ago, I was watching this clip, The Breakfast Club. And so one of the hosts, the new host, Loren, was on there. And she was talking about how she had got a lot of slack recently. A lot of people commenting on her social media. And I think she had went somewhere like Dominican or somewhere where she was attending a celebrity event or something like that. But she got a lot of slack because of what she was wearing and how she was behaving. And so people were like, okay, you're a journalist, you'd be in the White House courthouse and whatnot, and you shouldn't be behaving like that. You shouldn't be dressing like that. Granted, it wasn't nothing outrageous. She had on, I think it was like some leather shorts and like a bikini top or something. But they were like, okay, you dress this way when you're in the courthouse and, whatnot when you're reporting, and you shouldn't be dressing like that outside of work. So that was interesting because I know a lot of times people presume like, okay, you're in a certain position, you have this prominent job, you're a lawyer, doctor, whatever the case may be. You shouldn't be behaving like this outside of work, or you shouldn't be dressing like this because you're this doctor, you're this person that's important. So people place that assumption on you, whether or not we know it or not. But it's unfortunate because people judge you sometimes how you behave, how you look outside of the work. But like, okay, if this person looks like this or dresses like this, are they really good at their job? Are they really a good lawyer? Are they really good journalists? So what do you think about that?
Yeah. So, okay. So let me ask you this question again. Is it you say she was a celebrity, or you say she worked at the White House?
So I think she reports and stuff on the White House, but she's a journalist. She'd be at the courthouse a lot, report like on Diddy's case. She's down there reporting a lot. So they're like, she's dressed, a certain way down there.
Okay. So she's like a reporter.
Yeah. Like a journalist. Yeah.
Okay. So in my opinion, if you, let's say, like you said, if you're on vacation, you're out, you go somewhere to some singles resort, I'll just say that, and you want to party and have fun and whatever because you trying to let your hair down per se, I'm cool with that. I think you should be allowed to do that. Now, if it's somewhere where you're going to be a speaker, you're going like to a big conference where you're going to, still be in a professional environment, even though it might be in a nice place, even though you might be allowed to dress a little bit more casual or, put on shorts or whatever, then I would say you got to kind of watch yourself because of things just like what you're saying that's being brought up at the Breakfast Club, where people are saying, oh, damn, you supposed to be this and you out here, shaking it and doing this. So if she was just on vacation, she took leave from work and, she's trying to enjoy herself, let her hair down. She ain't trying to hear about reporting or whatever, nothing like that. She just out there to have some fun. I'm all for it. Do what you do. But
you can't
go ahead.
You can't even, people are going to assume what they do. They're going to do them. They're going to, not everybody is going to be happy about what you do or how you dress on vacation or when you're not at work. There's always going to be somebody that has something to say. That's just how it is.
And that is true. And I guess more or less what I'm trying to explain too is that you got to kind of be prepared for that and kind of look out for that. So, for example, I used to be a part of Toastmasters, and I remember in Toastmasters, they would have like every 6 months, they would have this convention, and they would have it all over the world, all over the place. So not necessarily in America, they've had it in Cancun, they've had it in the Bahamas and things like that, as many Toastmasters know. But the point I'm getting at if you're going to an event like that, where, yeah, you're here at this resort, and yeah, it's going to be nice. You're supposed to have fun, but it's still going to be people there who are uh, professional, I could say, got on the suit and tie, even though it's 100 degrees and humidity, and everybody's supposed to be enjoying themselves with a Mai Tai or coconut drinking. You know what I'm saying? And as you said, sometimes people are just going to talk because that's just the way they are. They're going to see you. Now, if you go down there to the extreme, like where you're acting a fool, like you went down there and you fighting somebody, or you trying to, you just wilding out, you doing drugs or something where everybody can see you, then I mean, come on, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. It's definitely a problem. Like,
yeah,
you're definitely gonna be side eye. Like, okay, wait a minute, you do what now? You a doctor? You no, I can't trust you to do no surgery on me now.
Right. You doing the doctor, but you over here, you done snorted everything on the damn table over here. Come on now. Come on.
So again, you got to be careful sometimes, because what's portrayed one way seems like something totally different on social media, or people would make it look like something different. That's how the media works sometimes. So yes, you made some interesting points, because a lot of times we don't think about how we behave, or the environment, because we're just in the moment. We're like, we're on vacation, we didn't work all these hours, we deserve a vacation, I'm gonna let my hair down. And that's probably what she was thinking. Like, I'm not at work, I'm in this event, I'm enjoying myself, let me enjoy myself. And on Monday I'll be back at the courthouse or wherever, and I'll do my job, my due diligence then. So
and then another tip to that for the people out there: if you're gonna go on vacation, please do not go with other co-workers, unless that co-worker, you and that co-worker are white on rice tight, to where they got your back, you got their back. But if it's like a company event, oh, we're just gonna go down here and have fun and do all no.
Are you saying that because you think they'll try to set you up? Or
yeah, I mean you have that possibility.
Yeah.
You have, and just like in this young lady's case, you have that possibility to where you never know what the hell's going on.
Sure.
You never know if they, oh yeah, I'm gonna get Don down here and hopefully he start acting a fool, then that will give me an excuse to go ahead and fire his ass.
You know what?
You understand?
Because you can have coworkers who can be envious of you, or why he get treated like this, or why did he get this bonus, and they'll plot on you, unfortunately.
Right.
Okay, like, okay, as soon as we get down to the resort, or I'm gonna record, or you got to be careful, because they say a lot of people, you don't go to work to make friends. That's where you go to work and do your job, do what you got to do, and then go home. So when you become closer with people and you feel like you can trust them, and then you go on vacation somewhere together, you got to be careful, because you never know, especially if they see you excelling and they're like, okay, they jealous, they're like, why the boss like him more than they like me?
Right.
They're gonna do what they got to do to get you out of the picture. Sometimes I'm sure there's stories out there like that, so you got to be careful.
And sometimes it may just be the boss, it may not be your it may be the boss and the co-workers together. Mm-hmm. You got some of them ass kissers who are working with the boss, and oh yeah, man, you try to soften him up and set him up, take him out here or do this or whatever. Right. And not just at a resort. I mean, anything like that, any kind of field trip and stuff, you got to be on guard and figure out, okay, what's the meaning of this field trip, besides if I'm trying to go learn something or something like that. And then you got to stay professional as a work environment, even though you might see people letting their hair down and having fun and they playing music. You might just need to snap your fingers, but go stand in the corner, as they used to say, hold the wall.
I've been in that situation too before. Not that, but situations where the bosses are out of town, they'll come in town and say, hey, we want to, pay for y'all dinner. We're going to do happy hour. This is where we're going to be at. And then people, they just letting the bosses take care of everything. They take care of the drinks, food. Mm-hmm. So everybody's just having a good time. So in that sense, you also have to be disciplined enough to not overdo it, and watch your surroundings still. But you got to be careful in situations like that because you just never know. So yeah.
Exactly. All right. Well, cool. So, do we have any more helpful tips or anything on this topic?
I would say just be aware.
Yep.
Not saying that you can't be yourself because you are you, but be aware of the things that you do when you do go somewhere, the possible consequences and everything that comes along with it. But also, you don't need to share everything on social media, but be aware of your surroundings and everything like that. Because some things, if you do go to a concert or whatever, some things are just meant for you. They're not meant for you to share on social media for everybody to see, because people do judge, unfortunately. So, or assume. So just be careful.
All right. Well, cool. Well, hey, thank you guys for watching, and tune in to the next episode. Peace. Thanks for watching. And also, if you are having trouble or are currently working in a toxic workplace, then look no further than my book. It's available on Amazon, called Shut Up and Work: Surviving Then Escaping the Workplace. Other than that, have a great day. Take care. Peace.